hyponasal yung speech ko right now.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So, let's start, no? Okay, so good afternoon. I'm Dr. Catherine Mura from the Department of ORLH Centro. So, for the objectives, to familiarize the medical student with basic ENT instruments, to develop patient rapport during the ENT examination, to perform a comprehensive ENT physical examination, and to know the essential normal ENT anatomy. Okay, so for the basic instruments, again, this is again your light source with a 100-watt unfrosted light bulb mounted on a gooseneck lamp, no? So first you need to have a light source. So this, you already saw this last year from your second year ENT preceptorial classes. You also need, again, your head mirror with a 3.5-inch diameter with a half-inch diameter hole at the center. No? So the head mirrors would reflect light into the areas to be examined. The focal length of the head mirrors is 14 inches. So again, the mirror is positioned over your dominant eye and the eye should peep through the hole of the mirror. So the light is then focused on the area to be examined with both your eyes open during the examination. Then alternatively, we can also use an electric powered or a battery powered headlight as your light source, which has the advantage of adjusting the intensity and diameter of the light. So we have the ENT chair. This is an example of an ENT diagnostic center setup. But what we had last year, no, dun sa skills lab, was yung chair pa, no, the one that's rotating, no, adjustable. Okay. So again, for your basic ENT instruments, this is your otoscope. So this is the head. Okay, this one with the lens and the light port, the ear speculum, and then the body or the base. Okay, so the otoscope has an attachment here, this one, this hole, for the pneumatic bulb, this one. Okay, on the side of the head. Okay, which is used to introduce positive and negative pressure to the ear during specific ear examinations. So for your tuning fork, you have the 512 and 1024 hertz. So this is used for audiometric examination. The tuning forks are within the speech frequency range. So it is consists of a U-shaped prong or tines, a handle or stem and the base. The tuning fork is activated by striking near the base of the U-shaped tines. Okay, so avoid striking the tines at the tip since it will cause overtones. So this is your nasal speculum. You have an adult one and a pediatric one. So this is the handle and then the blades or the tines, which are used to dilate the orifice of the nasal cavity by pushing the nasal vestibule. So your tongue depressor and your sterile gauze or just a clean gauze. You have several mirrors, the nasopharyngeal mirrors with size 0 or number 3. What we have here in our department is the number 3 for the nasopharyngeal mirror. And then for the laryngeal mirror, it's either number 4 or number 5. But what we have here is the size 5. So both mirrors, okay, they have a slender handle and the nasopharyngeal one has a smaller mirror compared to the laryngeal mirror, which is larger. So this one is used to visualize the choana, taken through nasopharynx via the oropharynx. And then, in contrast, the laryngeal mirror, it has a medium-sized mirror or a bigger mirror to visualize the larynx and the hypopharynx via the oropharynx. So again, for your history and physical examination, okay, first you should introduce yourself to the patient, establish a good rapport, practice a proper body language, be relaxed, just maintain a good eye contact, assume an open posture, and sit face to face with the patient. So obtain a thorough medical history and should always start with open questions, avoiding the questions that starts with why. So of course, you should show compassion and patience to the patient. So for your history taking, you know this already. Should obtain identifying data, shift complaint, the HPI, past medical history, and social history. So for the physical examination, okay, you should wear gloves and mask, and then should position the patient properly. Okay. So this one, the example here, this is the sniffing position, which is used, or you should put the patient in such sniffing position when performing an indirect laryngoscopy. So this here, the body is leaning slightly forward, okay, from the waist, and then the neck is flexed on the torso, and the head is extended on the neck. Okay, so it's sniffing kasi para kang nagsisniff, no, ng flowers, okay? Like you're smelling something. Okay, so for your the pediatric patients, no? So in general, never straddle your patient. So for the pediatric patients, the patient should sit on the guardian's lap, okay, with the guardian, lalo na if mag-isa lang yung guardian, no? So the guardian will restrain the child by holding an arm, okay, one arm across the chest and then the other arm holding the child's head, okay? And then the child's legs is between, no, the guardian's legs. Okay, for the ear examination, so this is again just a rundown. So explain the procedure to the patient. You should first, okay, inspect and palpate the auricle and periauricular area. So look for masses, hyperemia, swelling, previous scars, and deformities. Okay, so of course you should identify then, no, the normal anatomy. Okay, so for the ear examination, you should retract the pinna, okay, gently upward, backwards, and outwards for adults, no? So para madali niyong maalala, acronym lang, UBO, no? Upward, backward, outward for adults. However, for pediatric patients, it is retracted, no? Downward and backward. Okay, so this is done, the retraction of pinna to straighten the ear canal. So insert the oral speculum or the otoscope gently and slightly anteriorly. So you should use the biggest speculum or ear tip, if you remember the picture a while ago. So brace your hand, no, to the patient's face for support. So such as in this picture, okay? So there's actually para a finger, okay? Para if there will be no accidental no pushing no ng instrument to the patient's ear canal to prevent accidental injury. Oh, okay. You should also note, no, the handling of the otoscope. Okay. So, inspect the external auditory canal and the tympanic membrane. Okay. So here in the normal anatomy of a right eardrum. Okay. So you can, the cone of light, no, it's not a normal part lang, no? Or hindi siya normal talaga na part, no? It's just a reflection of the combo. Okay. So it doesn't mean the tympanic membrane is perforated if you cannot see the cone of light. Okay. So identify the different structures. Your tympanic membrane. Okay, again. So you can identify the bones, the malleus, and incus. So to evaluate the movement of the tympanic membrane, you can do the Siegel's pneumatic otoscope here, or just a simple pneumatic otoscope. Okay. Alternatively, you can also ask the patient to perform Valsalva maneuver if you don't have the pneumatic bulbs. You just ask the patient. Okay, usually we ask the patient to do Toynbee maneuver. So you do that by asking the patient to pinch their nose and then they swallow. Okay, so that's negative pressure, and you can see the movement of the tympanic membrane. Okay. So for the tuning fork test, again, explain the procedure to the patient. You should conduct the test in a quiet room without background noise, no? So this is actually hard to do kasi wala naman tayong like yung quiet na booth, no? I forgot yung term, sorry. Okay, so perform first the Weber test and then perform the Rinne test. Okay. So again, for the Weber test, test for localization. So you should strike no, the tines lang ha. And then put the base of the tuning fork in the midline of the head, either here, no, at the vertex, the glabella, the bridge of the nose, or on the mentum. Then ask the patient if the sound is louder on one side or if it is heard midline. So it is reported as Weber negative if it is heard, no, the sound is heard equally in the midline, or if the sound is heard louder on one side or it lateralizes on one side, then you should report it as Weber left. For example, if it lateralized to the left. Okay. And then for the Rinne test, so first you perform it by doing the bone conduction first. Okay, strike the tines again, and then you put the base no, of the tines on the mastoid process of the patient. Ask the patient if the patient can hear the sound. Sometimes you can also like check for the duration for that. That's for the Rinne threshold testing. Okay. And then after is you switch it to the ear na, no? To the parallel to the ear canal. Okay. So, okay. If the patient can hear it, so the normal is Rinne positive, wherein air conduction is greater than bone conduction. You report it as Rinne negative if the bone conduction is greater than air conduction. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, don't mind yung picture dito no na air. Okay. So avoid overtones. Okay, so take note no, the plane of the tines should be parallel. Ayan no, to the ear canal. Okay. So let's move on to the nasal examination. Explain the procedure to the patient first. Okay, so focus the head mirror properly for anterior rhinoscopy. Inspect again, always inspect first the nose and the paranasal area. Observe for the external appearance, skin disorder, and any deformity in the nasal skeleton. So again, how you handle the nasal speculum properly, you should use your non-dominant hand, no? With your thumb dun sa fulcrum niya. Okay? And then, excuse me, your forefinger, no? The index finger dun sa may tines, or dun sa blade niya. Okay? So that's an ergonomic way, no, to handling it. So you should insert this nasal speculum gently into the nasal vestibule. Okay? So again, no, why we use a non-dominant hand for handling the nasal speculum? Kasi yung dominant hand nyo, you would use that for finer procedures, no, finer movements such as nasal suctioning, nasal decongestion. So you open the blades of the nasal speculum gently and direct it laterally to avoid touching yung midline na sensitive septum. Okay? So in this picture, no, there's varying congestion of the inferior turbinate. No? This is severely congested. So identify the structures inside. No? So this one is a sample, no? A picture of right nasal cavity. So since this is the nasal septum, no? So you can see inferior turbinate, middle turbinate, okay, the nasal floor, vestibule. Okay. So assess and then check, no? You can also visualize the Kiesel box plexus, any septal deviations, any septal spurs. No, note for the characteristics of the mucosa. Is it pale? Is it just pinkish? Are there any secretions? Are there any masses? Okay, so withdraw the nasal speculum with the blades partially closed. Okay, and then do not forget to check the other nasal cavity. So you can also palpate for the frontal and maxillary sinuses. Okay, here, the frontal and then the maxillary sinuses. So for the posterior rhinoscopy, again, explain the procedure to the patient. You focus their head mirror properly. Okay, so towards the oropharynx siya. Okay, so here you should, you need your tongue depressor, no? So depress the anterior two-thirds of the tongue. And then, using the nasopharyngeal mirror, no, you should hold it like a pencil. Then warm the nasopharyngeal mirror. You can use either a defogging solution or you can touch it dun sa light bulb. But since mas readily accessible or readily available is yung saliva of the patient, no? So you can just parang brush it, no, over sa buccal mucosa ng patient. Okay? So ask the patient to breathe through the nose. Okay? So breathing through the nose, it depresses the soft palate. Okay? To visualize the nasopharynx, no? So for side view, no, mas ma-imagine, maintindihan. So you should introduce the mirror posterior to the uvula. Okay? So if sa mga OSCE nyo, no, minsan nandito lang nakalagay, wala kayong makikita doon, no? Hard palate, soft palate lang makikita nyo, no? So you should do it or you should introduce the mirror nga behind pa, no? So this is the area that you should examine because this is the nasopharynx. Okay? So asking the patient to breathe to the nose, so this one will be depressed, no? So mas you can visualize it. Okay? Again, so this is the picture, no? But this is from an endoscopy, no? The view. Upside down, no? So this is what you can see, no? So this one, the nasal septum, middle turbinate, superior turbinate, okay? Can see the torus tubarius, okay? And then the opening of the Eustachian tube, no? You can see if there are any masses here, no? Usually at the fossa of Rosenmuller, or if there's hypertrophic adenoids, okay? Can check for any discharges. So alternative methods to visualize the nasal cavity and nasopharynx. No, we have the nasal endoscopy. So this one is the rigid nasal endoscope. Okay. So but first, when doing this, you should decongest first the patient and anesthetize with oxymetazoline and topical lidocaine, either on cotton pledgets or via nasal sprays. Okay, so oral cavity and oropharyngeal examination. Explain again the procedure to the patient. Focus the head mirror on the oral cavity. Then first, no, inspect, no, examine the lips, okay, to identify the normal structures. Okay, look for any masses, okay. And then inside the oral cavity, no, ask the patient to open the mouth and using your tongue depressor, no, inspect the gingiva, teeth, tongue, floor of the mouth, buccal mucosa, the hard palate. And then part of the oropharynx already is the soft palate, uvula, the tonsils, and posterior pharyngeal wall. No? You visualize it. So observe for the color, check for any ulcerations, white patches, nodules, any swelling, if there's any exudates. Okay. Ayan. No? And also check for the occlusion of teeth, the gums. Excuse me. Okay, so for the buccal mucosa, you can also visualize, no, inspect the Stenson's duct, which is opposite your first molar, no, yung maxillary molar. And then on the floor of the mouth, you can also inspect the Wharton's duct, okay, which is here, no, just on the floor of the mouth, yeah. And then after, you should also do, no, yung palpation, okay, using a bimanual approach, so with a gloved hands, no. One finger, okay, or even two fingers, no, inside the oral cavity, and then the other hand is externally, no, so dun sa may mentum niya, okay, and then you should palpate, no, and check for any masses on the floor of the mouth. Excuse me. Wait. Okay, sorry. Can you not see yung video? May nag-message sa akin eh. And sorry hindi ko nababasa no ng real time ano to? Yung present. Hello? Can you see the slides ba? Sorry.
Yes, Doc, we can see the slides pero
Okay.
wala pang
One of
video.
your wala akong video. Ako lang ba? Or you
Opo.
can see the slides, ah. Oh, okay lang. Enough ko muna. Sorry kasi I'm sick eh. Sorry. Um, okay. One of your classmates kasi, no? Video ng ako ba? Enough ko muna talaga ha. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Sige, later na isang question. Okay, so I'll continue ah. So indirect laryngoscopy, no? So again, you should explain the procedure to the patient and then you instruct the patient, no, to breathe through the mouth, no? So yung kabila, breathe through the nose,
M61.
yung posterior rhinoscopy, you ask the patient to breathe through the nose, okay? And then with this one, you ask the patient to breathe through the mouth. Sorry. So focus the head mirror properly. So again, no, the patient should be in sniffing position, no, with the indirect laryngoscopy. So hold the laryngeal mirror like a pencil. Okay, so warm the laryngeal mirror again, no, when warming it, you can use nga lang, no, readily available is the saliva of the patient, no, by brushing yung mirror dun sa buccal mucosa. Okay, so hold the tongue gently with the gauze. Okay, so there are several ways to hold, no, yung tongue. Okay, so such as this one, you can hold it, no, between the thumb and the index finger, and then yung other, the middle finger, no, medyo naka-retract, no, yung lip, or with the thumb and yung middle finger, no, holding the tongue, and then the index finger yung naka-retract dun sa lip. Okay? So introduce the mirror obliquely, just anterior to the posterior pharyngeal wall. Okay, so do not touch, no. Oh, it's okay, no, to like ma-move, no, ma-touch yung uvula, no, but not the posterior one-third of the base of the tongue, or ano to, not the posterior pharyngeal wall din mismo. Okay, kasi it would induce gagging nga. Okay, so instruct the patient to say a high pitch E, no? So E to evaluate the anterior aspect of the vocal folds. Okay, you also ask the patient to say he, okay, to evaluate the movement of the vocal folds. Okay, so ito yung top view, no? So when you're doing the indirect laryngoscopy. So this is actually a mirror image, no? So this one, no, this is the base of the tongue, no? So andito yung harapan, no? And then ito na yung posterior pharyngeal wall kasi. Okay, so this is what you can see when doing the indirect laryngoscopy. Iba kasi yung visually, iba yung view, no, when you're doing yung endoscopy na. Okay, so alternative methods is itong ano, the rigid laryngoscope. Okay, or by using a flexible nasopharyngeal laryngoscope. Okay, so through the nose and then uh, it will go inferiorly to the oropharynx and then visualize the larynx. Okay, for the neck examinations, explain again the procedure to the patient. Inspect the neck systematically, one side at a time. No, so the chin must be raised and directed to the opposite side, directed contralateral to the neck you want to examine. So it makes the neck muscles snore, especially the sternocleidomastoid, to be more prominent. Okay, so palpate for any masses, lymphadenopathies per neck triangle and per lymph node level. So the best approach is by palpating it while visualizing, no, the underlying structure. So such as the trachea, the larynx, the cricoid cartilage, the hyoid bone. So here's the triangles of the neck. Again, occipital, supraclavicular triangle, ayan, no? So mandibular, submental carotid, and muscular triangle, and then the different lymph node levels. Okay. So after, no, the next examination, the last part, you can or you should palpate, sorry, the thyroid gland. No? So the thyroid gland is situated below the cricoid cartilage. So examine it from behind, placing both hands on the paratracheal area, no? This one. But if there's no chance, no, na you could go behind the patient, no, can you also palpate it from, anteriorly. Okay? So ask the patient to swallow or drink, no, a sip of water. So press firmly on one side, will allow the contents of the other side to be easily distinguishable. Okay? So this is just a review. Here are my references. Thank you for your attention. Okay, so do you have any questions? Sorry basahin ko na yung may question kanina sa chat.